Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we have another round of Genshin Impact related drama to cover because there is a full-on revolt in a portion of the Genshin Impact community. I believe this is now the 10th boycott of this game started by its own players. Now, why is this happening? Well, recently there was a new region called Natlan that was previewed, and in this preview we saw some new characters being introduced to Genshin Impact, and people on Twitter are very upset, claiming this is cultural appropriation as well as whitewashing because the skin tone of these characters is fairer than they would have expected from this fictional region. Yes, my condolences to the citizens of Natlan. I hope they get the justice that they deserve in this situation, but this has gotten really out of hand to the point where now IGN and other sources like this are making articles covering the situation. You can see the headline right here: Genshin Impact is facing more accusations of cultural appropriation and whitewashing, and some of its voice actors are asking publisher HoYoverse to make changes. So here's one of the voice actors joining in on this movement. In a tweet with over 1 million views, they say this: if a game draws so heavily from real-world cultures and bases a character on the supreme deity of the Yoruba religion, and that character ends up looking like pale Sasuke Batman, people are absolutely within their rights to demand better representation, especially when said game has clearly stated commitment to a global audience. I hope y'all keep making your voices heard, and I hope they listen. This is the definition of a first world problem. These people are more angry about the complexion of these characters than they are the actual atrocities being committed by the Chinese government against its own citizens. Like, it's absolutely wild. And looking at this tweet, as a voice actor, why would miHoYo ever want to continue working with you? It is a very terrible look. You are essentially accusing your own boss of cultural appropriation and whitewashing, while also riling up a portion of their fan base that is trying to boycott the game currently. Like, you are actually encouraging people who are hurting the bottom line of the company. Why would they ever want to hire you again? If they're halfway serious, they would realize how bad of a look this is and how much it's actually harming their company. But going forward, a lot of people on Twitter are trying many different ways to basically punish miHoYo and Genshin Impact for what's happening with this new region of the game. I've seen multiple posts like this individual saying this: what if we mass reported Genshin until their account gets banned? Maybe then they'll do something. And what are they reporting these official Genshin Impact accounts for? Hate speech. I regret to inform this individual, it is not hate speech to introduce fair-skinned characters into a game. That is not hate speech. In fact, the only person in this scenario that is risking violating Twitter's TOS is this post right here. This is targeted harassment. You can't tell people to falsely report an account until it's banned. That is actually against Twitter's TOS. However, the main account here that a lot of people have been using for this boycott is this HYV boycott, the official account for the HoYoverse boycott. Yes, this is a very serious situation right here. So let's check out some of their posts. Here's the first one saying, I think it's safe to say that we have all had enough of the erasure of our cultures and identities. Today, I introduce you to the Boycott HoYoverse account. We will be an account sharing how you can boycott, spread the word, anything helps. Again, these people are way more angry about this than anything the Chinese government is doing, and it's absolutely insane. But let's see the main post people are clowning on right now. This is a do and don't suggestion of what you can do during this boycott. The things you should do and the things you shouldn't do. And before we get into the actual things listed here, notice that in the do's and don'ts, you will never find any mention of people being told not to play Genshin Impact. At no point does it say, don't play Genshin Impact. The iron will of Twitter activists, right? They can't even stop playing the game that they're boycotting. But anyways, let's look at their do's section. The first thing they encourage you to do is review bomb Genshin Impact in HoYoverse games. That's interesting because normally Twitter is very against review bombing. When we see games getting review bombed by players who are upset with the content, typically people on Twitter say that's a bad thing and they shame you for doing it. But all of a sudden now it's okay. But they also say like and retweet. Yes, help boost this account into the algorithm. You guys should do the same thing with this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is a very, very serious thing I'm talking about here. They also say, share posts from us, share posts from Black, Indigenous, people of color, spread the word, tell a friend, encourage others to speak up. Now, I was going to say, imagine telling like your coworker about this situation, but let's be honest, the people boycotting this game would be more appropriate to say like their classmates. So like imagine telling your classmate to join in on this boycott. Like it's absolutely goofy, but this gets even worse. So down here it says, respond to surveys, send complaints to customer support. And this part is wild. Sign the linked petition and contact your local politicians. They want you to contact your local politicians over this new region in Genshin Impact and the skin tone of the characters contained within it. Please be serious. And if there are people like hate watching this video who are involved in this boycott, let me tell you something with true sincerity here. Please do not waste your time contacting these local politicians and wasting their time and resources on something like this. First of all, they're going to have no idea what you're talking about. They're going to be completely confused and they're just going to basically close out of your email. But on top of that, there are infinitely more important things going on in the world right now that'd be worth your local politician's time more than this, okay? Just be serious for a second. And they also say down here, post in the official HoYoverse account's comments, mute/block trolls. So this whole thing about posting in the official HoYoverse accounts, that just boosts their posts in the algorithm. You're actually helping them by doing this, but let's move on to the don't section. So it says, don't make any additional purchases, don't participate in giveaways, don't participate in the HoYoverse's economic flow. That includes battle passes, all this stuff. And also don't harass/threaten voice actors, artists, or any content creator. Yeah, you guys think they're going to stay true to their word right here about not harassing content creators? I guarantee that's going to be violated very quickly when people see content creators they don't like making fun of this boycott. But they also say, don't send threats to customer support, don't interact with racists, and don't speak over people who are indigenous/affected. Okay, so this is getting clowned on by a lot of people, and I think this screen capture right here by HeroHey really sums up everything going on and the level of seriousness behind this boycott. So this individual says, wait, I'm sorry, but what does calling my local politician do exactly? Where this user says, someone brought up the option of communities whose culture Natlan is appropriating to contact their leaders so they can raise the issue of Hoyo hurting cultures and communities of people to the Chinese government. They want you, they think this is going to actually work. They want you to go to your local politicians and complain about what's happening in Genshin Impact. So then the local politicians can go to the United States government, and then the United States government will contact the Chinese government to say that these Genshin Impact players are upset. Are we serious right now? Are we serious? I'm also seeing a lot of users bringing up the Genshin Impact TOS, and there's actually a section that says this. We cannot guarantee that you will not encounter content that you consider offensive or otherwise inappropriate, and we accept no liability for any failure to remove or delay in removing any such content. They basically say if you're upset about the themes of this fictional setting, we don't take responsibility for it, and you have to basically remove yourself from this situation. In fact, there is in-game dialogue from Genshin Impact over and over again reminding players that this is a fictional setting with fictional characters and none of this is real. That's how sad this portion of the community is. They have to be constantly reminded that this is a fictional setting and not supposed to be representative of real-life human beings. And I'm seeing more posts from this account saying this. Disappointing to see that the HoYoverse's new hashtag Genshin Impact characters still lack authentic cultural representation. Our call for diversity and respect in gaming continues. Join us in demanding better. And of course, they're quoting Genshin Impact here. And all this does is promote the post that they're quoting. It's just promoting this new character. Like, a lot of people wouldn't even have seen this new promotion if it wasn't for this quote. It's so backwards. And I've seen other accounts joining in on this boycott saying stuff like this. Not quote retweeting Genshin because I don't want them to get more engagement. Okay, fair. But they say this, do not let Kava's rerun distract you from the HoYoverse's colorism. Do not let the new characters' drip marketing distract you from the HoYoverse's racism. Look at how pasty pale they are. Speak up. On top of all that, again, no mention of discontinuing your Genshin Impact account. There's no mention of stopping playing this game. They just have to remind people to not buy new stuff. It's crazy. They can't give it up. They accuse HoYoverse of colorism and racism, but they can't stop playing the game. It's crazy. But also I saw some other very wild claims. So some people are claiming that other HoYoverse games actually do have some diversity. However, they're disappointed that Genshin Impact does not have the same, and they say this: it shocks me how such a pro-LGBTQ plus company can be so colorist. Do better, HoYoverse. This person is claiming that HoYoverse is a pro-LGBTQ plus company. That is a very wild claim. And then there's some infighting on that. So some Genshin Impact players are saying, well, hold on a second. They're not pro-LGBTQ plus. They're actually queer baiting with their characters. So apparently that's another issue going on in the Genshin Impact scene. But this is another person clowning at saying, gun to the back of your head, name 5 HoYoverse characters that are LGBTQ. Yeah, pretty honest, but this whole situation is wild. This is a ridiculous situation. I cannot believe the level of attention all this has gotten because of the complexion of some of these characters from a fictional region in a fictional setting. It's wacky. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, this boycott will end eventually once people get bored and they'll continue playing Genshin Impact. But feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.